It's the best. This is-
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of FTU Life After the Military. I'm your host, Tony Rodriguez. Yeah, that was a little bit shorter uh, theme music today, and that's because we were in mid conversation with Eli, having my returning guests, Jorge, Georgie, and Eli. Eli is telling us about how he was going to get into yet another fight, and he's going to describe to us about how his experience of almost getting into a fight in the embassy in Colombia.
yes.
No, not that one. I'll
No,
go to General Electric.
you didn't talk about that one, dude. Yeah.
Afterwards, and how he was going to throw down. He slapped somebody with a glove across the face, so
No,
he challenged him to
yeah.
pistols at dawn or something.
No. It's just like drama follows me. I think it's just weird. I think maybe because I think all three of us, we're just. I think the apparent nice guy, and
Yeah.
so there's, and now the reason I'm nice because when I get mad, I can't control it. Anyway. So, but yeah, no, General. What you want me to start with General Electric?
You start wherever you want, Eli.
Yeah,
Your
Yeah.
stories are
because
always the best.
no, because life after the military. So shout out to USA Cares, by the way, who got me a job with General Electric. I was I could call it there's two safety folks, me and the senior director of the safety department. It was like two of us and all the technicians. At that point, it was a mountain, right? The stress was just, it was a very dynamic environment where you're the safety. And so I was a deputy. So, I'm the guy that makes the enforcing the policies, do my rounds, walk around the lines. At this point, injuries are pretty much, they're increasing, right? Nicks and cuts. So, for you guys, I didn't know this. Every cut, scrape, as soon as the employee goes to the nurse, it's paperwork. That's OSHA reporting. It's no matter what it is, there's a report. So I spent more time behind a computer versus actually preventing accidents. But anyway, so at that point, I already know I'm leaving. I put in my 2 week notice, and I think it was just anything was going to push that button, my fighter pick. So I go, I catch this guy not wearing his, by the way, earbuds, no gloves, no eye protection, right? It's just a big no. I'm like, hey, 90% of people, when you correct them, they respond by saying, "Yeah, sir, got it. I forgot. Okay, just put them on. Just put on your gloves, put on your ear pro." Not this guy. This guy was ion weed, which is a lot of employees did their thing in the parking lot. They came in semi-high, so we make eye contact. He knows he's wrong. At that point, they know I'm a safety guy, right? They know. Like, and I wave him. It's hey, you know. He's like, yo, man, F you. I'm like, no, man, not today. I was already having a bad morning. I've been there since 4 a.m. It's like, not today. Come here. It's like, what's going on? Well, you know what? Let's take it outside. I'm like, excuse me? I was like, outside. It's like, you want to fight? Okay, let's fight. Freaking as soon as it, I was like, yeah, you can't take the ghetto out of the guy who grew up in the ghetto. It's just impossible, right? So at that point, yeah, I was getting in the fight, cameras and everything. Manager came in, and the supervisor, sure, no, you're gonna hurt the kid. Was like 18 years old, pretty tall, African American man, probably 6'1". I was gonna fight. At that point, he pushed my button. He challenged me to a fight. Let's take it outside, and I'm like, it clicked on me, and I was like, well, yeah, you know what? That's the way to go. Last 24 hours in the job, I'm gonna get in a fight, and I'm gonna win because I'm mad. I'm gonna beat this guy. But that's a story right there. I was already anticipating. Right, I'm gonna take him out to the back where the cameras are not very visible. I'm gonna get in the fight. I'm gonna fight this guy, right? And at that point, I was already all right. Who's his buddies? But that's a story, short and sweet. I was willing to get in the fight. I was willing to, he poked that button, and I was,
And
yeah. But that's my story.
no,
That's it.
he didn't tell the U.S. Embassy in Colombia story, man. Oh,
No.
dude, that was a funny one.
So that's similar. That's a similar story, right? I mean, I'm not going to mention names.
No names. So yeah,
Um, but same thing. And me, I don't like to get mad because I think the bad part is it starts boiling up, right?
yeah,
At that point, me and this guy, we had our run-ins. I took it just like General Electric, got it. It wasn't the first time in General Electric they told me to F off. And I was like, all right, employees having a bad day, got it. Just put on your eye pro, ear pro, whatever, and just continue your day. It was about what, George? Like 2 months, 3 months into the point, 4 months?
yeah. I think we were like 4 months in, or 2 months.
No, it wasn't even. Yeah, it's 2
He was
months.
starting. We were starting,
And,
right?
but at that point, it was a long PMT.
Yes,
The PMT
it's
was
long.
intense.
Yeah, it was long.
It
I
was
remember.
intense. And at that point, we know we weren't going to spend Christmas at the house. It was
Yeah,
October, November. So,
yeah.
like stress was piling. No Christmas, no Thanksgiving. You're going to be
No,
in Colombia. So, that was my first deployment. Jesus. And things were mounting up. We came back from, the jungle. And, this character is there. And he just picked the wrong day. He picked the wrong day to mess with me. I think, stupid enough. I think what did it that night prior. He was, he decided to download. We had a weak internet in the apartment. We stayed there for a couple of days and we
yeah.
left just to reset, and then we went back. And he decided he was going to steal the whole Wi-Fi and download, I don't know, Spartan. It was Spartan. I think at that point it was Spartan, some kind of.
Some kind of crazy like that. Yeah. I remember that.
And I was trying to talk to my wife. I had no internet. And I was, hey man, can you give me 5 minutes? I just want to see my new baby,
Yeah,
my
exactly.
baby boy. Yeah, I just had a kid. I said, hey man, can you? It's like, hell no, I live here.
Okay. This.
I live here. And I was like, you guys just visit. So I texted my wife, my limited.
Trying to find.
Hey, baby. It's like, I can't. That's like, and then the other day, stress was mounting up. And I forget what happened that morning. It just poked that
I
button.
don't remember, man, because I got the aftermath of that.
So
I just remember. I remember he. Well, one, he was brand new, right? He was brand new.
Yeah, brand
right out
brand
of
new.
school.
So
Brand
And
new.
yeah,
they made him what was it? The
the
planner.
senior planner. He was in
And
a
it's
tough
like,
spot,
well, you're in charge
man.
of the mission. Like, I'm not listening to
No,
this clown.
and you're talking about me and this guy. I mean, we're just,
I remember he
we're,
kept nitpicking the reports, the sit
oh
rep.
yeah,
Oh, that's what he was.
sit
Yeah,
That was it. I think he didn't like the way I was writing.
something like that.
And
Yeah.
and now that I remember, he's like, Georgie's always on time. And oh my God. And I just,
But you know what I used to do, right? To be on time, I write like 4 or 5 reports, and then I trickle at him. The same with the picture. I took a lot of pictures, and then I trickle in the pictures every week.
Georgie's always, so he was doing the peer pressure. Hey, your peer over there is doing better than you, and you suck. And at that point, I went after him. I didn't think anything about it. And I was like, you know what? Today, this guy's going to get beat up.
It's
Like,
beat up
I,
bad.
I've had enough. It's like, this guy's going to get beat up. And I just chased him I chased him in the courtyard.
Yeah.
And I just went after him. I went after him and I wanted to kill him. I
Dude,
wanted to beat him up.
I took the
And
aftermath of that with the other character. It was like, Jorge, there's cameras everywhere. I was like, dude, did they call you for anything? He's like, no, okay, don't worry about it yet.
and I mean,
oh,
after I come down, after Georgia talks to me, I mean, did I regret it? Yes.
nah, don't
Years
regret it,
later,
man. Don't regret it.
years later.
Oh yeah,
But some people just need that. I think some people,
yeah.
we actually became friends, man. We actually, after, for a year. But yeah, some people need that. I think it's just, some people, whatever. I think sometimes just, people need that. I think people need that
Some people
sometimes
do.
in life.
Some,
Some people need that stuff, you know. But that should I have. But there was boiling. The same thing with John Lake. It was a couple of months of boiling,
yeah.
and I'm like, this guy's gonna get beat up. Like, I'm gonna harm this person. Like, I think uniform went out the window. I think it doesn't help that we're wearing civilians. It doesn't help.
That's right.
It doesn't help. You know, it's like, yeah, like we're not wearing a uniform. I think that kind of takes
Yeah.
away that barrier. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're in our business casuals, and and I didn't care. And
Dude,
yeah, and I felt bad for
man.
my
Eli,
team sergeant because he almost tore my t-shirt, and I'm like,
you
yeah,
forgot.
but
Antonio, you know the other story too that he didn't tell us yet.
which one?
That was a leader dude over there, his team, right? That he
Oh,
that he was gonna beat up too in the apartment, like hurt him. That was-
no, we need to keep that off the. No,
dude,
I don't want to talk about
Are
that.
you talking about which one?
there's a
Oh,
leader dude
not
with a big mouth. You
yeah,
know?
the little skinny guy with the big head.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
looks like a
yeah.
freaking light bulb. That guy.
You know what?
got-
We actually became friends, man. We actually, but at that point,
dude.
it was boiling, and he was
I know.
just, it was just causing some dynamics,
Yeah.
two sergeant first classes, just bumping heads, and my medic, and it was, but that was like towards the end of the deployment, and
Dude.
I had to send him away.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Before I get to,
That point.
you know, but the ideas in my head is like, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's gonna find out. And when those evil thoughts started coming,
Yeah.
it's like maybe it's best we just send them
No, yeah.
because
He ended up working for me. And
I couldn't sleep at night.
no, man, the same individual ended up working for me, and two
Yeah,
guys. We used to have the companies and the leader trailers in the other side of Bragg. I don't know if you remember those. So we were there. So I'm there, man, and two guys were about to jump him in the company, man. I was like, "Wow, what's going on here,
yeah, just
dude?"
but
That was funny, man.
I mean, it's just but bad. I think, but forward that to today. I think I would have been in jail at this point. I think it's a different
Different world,
military
man.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a different world, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, I would have gone to jail. I think, so, but
No, I think
maybe those.
this day wouldn't survive. Today we wouldn't survive
Uh,
those days.
hey, but that day those cameras in the embassy weren't working because I am positive they saw two guys running around trying to kill each other. I think.
I think they thought they were doing jujitsu or something.
Yeah, and plus, no offense, but the people at that embassy, for anybody who's listening, that embassy is the largest embassy in the Western Hemisphere.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
But
It is.
It
Yeah.
is. It's like a mini city inside a huge city.
It is. It is. Yeah.
But so, do you think that's the weirdest thing they've ever seen coming from that area?
Oh
no.
no,
With
no,
all the
no,
soft
no,
guys,
no.
it's like whatever.
So
That's just a normal day out there. Like I'm not even going to bother with that
Yeah,
nonsense.
but there were two guys here like joking around now.
They haven't brought their guns out yet or knives or anything. Like,
it's like they're safe, they're just gonna cause some black eyes.
I'm not going to get
But
out of my
no.
chair and stop drinking coffee for that.
It's like, hey, that's one Mondes coffee you're talking about. They're not gonna spill it either. So
Oh, dude, man, that was
but yeah, no, yeah, it's funny because not even my wife knows about those stories. It's just incredible. No,
Did she knows or she doesn't?
She doesn't know about this stuff.
No,
And
man, we had fun that year, dude.
Yeah.
It was fun, dude. Like, I'm
it was
telling
it was a long 9 months. Though, I'll be honest with you, it was
you.
a
It was
long
11
9
at the
months.
end. Remember?
It was 11, yeah. So
Yeah.
those deployments.
With the train up,
With
the
the
train up was insane.
trailer was crazy, dude. Like,
With the old blueberry.
yeah, dude.
Oh,
The one that got beaten by the dog, and then he just started training.
oh
Remember
my
that?
god! Oh my god!
He go like
No,
this.
but it
He go
was.
like this. I was like, dude, what happened? I got beaten by a dog and I cannot train. I was like, I never heard that before, man. You know what? In 21 years, I never heard that ever.
So it's like, is a PMT more supervised nowadays, or not really?
I don't know.
Because
I
back
don't know.
then,
So just I know you guys are out. Like I'm still there at Fort
Yeah.
Liberty now, and
Yeah.
so the SOC guys tell me because they're so evidently the USASOC commander saw how things were being run, the new one, General Pagan, and he didn't like it. So he immediately decided we're going to restructure this,
Okay.
and so the CA battalions are going to fall under the groups, and so are the
Yeah.
PSYOP battalions.
Oh, so it's official. Good.
Yeah. So at least for training,
For training, yeah.
but they're progressing further and further along, and
Yeah.
evidently now,
Good.
and because of the budget cuts,
Yeah.
from CA, what I know what they're doing, and I just found this out this week because I gave a class to some of them.
Yeah.
They, you know how the companies were extended to a Fox company
Yeah.
off of the Fox.
Remember that? Yeah.
Well, they decided that they're going to eliminate one of the companies. Right, that was the first decision, and each team from that company was going to be absorbed by the other companies. Right.
Okay.
But then they decided the cuts aren't enough. So you have to get rid of another company. So they're going back down to the original 4 companies for each battalion.
Okay.
Makes sense. Yeah,
And so they're trying to
sense.
take that 4th battalion, the second one that they're cutting, they're trying to absorb it into like a brigade headquarters
Yeah.
because they got rid of the 83rd.
Mm-hmm.
From my understanding, and I don't care one way or the other to make that perfectly clear.
Yeah.
They are trying to increase the brigade headquarters to make it like a global,
Like a
global
deployable
response force, GRF.
Response. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Response.
some kind of
yeah,
Like with
deployable.
the
makes
83rd,
sense.
because the 83rd went away,
Yeah.
Mhm.
they're trying to make the 85th headquarters that.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, because I think they still, because I came from there, they're trying to keep that global response conventional
Yeah.
support ready to go to support some whatever's happening
So,
nowadays. So
this is my personal opinion and just mine based off of nothing, just my experience in
Mhm.
the Army and what I see. Is it really all of that, or is it we want to save this 06 position?
It's
I
promotion.
think
man.
I think it's
We want
both.
the MTO
I think it's
slots of
both.
all the officers.
It's
and the
promotion,
sergeant.
dude. I was
Yeah,
my last
I think
assignment
so.
in
I
Korea. I
agree.
was working, and I saw this firsthand. Right in Korea, they have a 2-star CA over there, right? And he was
Reservists.
this guy is not well. He's an executive from a shoe company that back in Oregon, right? I don't know which one. I don't want to tell you a name, but it's like he's an executive in a shoe company in Oregon, right? Headquarters out there. he
The
spent
swoosh.
he spent my 2 years there. Check this out. He spent my 2 years there making a 1-star position with 2 colonel positions, in
It's
which
true.
my old boss helped him out with the paperwork, right? and so they can make those positions out, and they were trying to get one of those for the active duty, right? So that's what I saw. That's what everybody worry about. It's just the promotion, and is it gonna, that's all. That's what my opinion. It was very,
I
yeah.
I agree. I
Nobody
agree. I
was
think
talking about the need of the world, or anything like that.
yeah.
And for me, hey man, that's perfectly fine. Like
Yeah.
I totally get it. Like sure, like why not have I don't care if everybody in the branch got promoted to, 10-star general and sergeant major of the universe. Like
Yeah.
good for them.
Yeah.
Like more power to you. Like I hope you guys get what you're working. Like I hope you achieve your goals.
Yeah.
It's not. I just didn't want to participate in any of that anymore because, like I
No.
was telling Georgie, my blood pressure when I was a team sergeant, basically from March of 2010 until May 2016, my blood pressure was 170 over 110. That's the miracle I'm not dead. It should not be like when you get mad,
That's
like when you were gonna throw down, do Van damage at the embassy. Your blood pressure gets to 170 over 110.
I think it was up there. I had trouble calming down, but hey, that's hyperextension. So now I learned, right? Because I have high blood pressure and
Yeah.
that's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, dude.
That's right.
and it's not worth it. I think in a way, right?
Nah, I don't. At that point, you think it's worth it. Just your body's going to respond to whatever It has its
Yeah,
limitations, in my opinion. So,
yeah.
so
So I think
I'm
my
glad you're okay.
yeah, and with hair. So I think in the military now looking back, right? We spent a lot of time justify our jobs. If you look at it,
I agree. Even when I was a veteran, and when
yeah,
I was in the 83rd, it was a clash of cultures.
yeah,
It was I don't know. It was like that. It's like you're in high school trying to impress that hot girl, and in the other
yeah.
class, you go through anything just to look attractive, just to
And
find a purpose in life. And I think that's what I felt like. It was
it
crazy.
does.
It was that's what I think across the branch. It was like, but it was anyway. But
I mean,
that's
it was
just the
fun.
way it
It
was.
was a fun run, but when I was when I was in Korea, I remember this colonel from Hawaii sent out a message out. It's like, hey, CA units are getting cuts. See if your commanders can agree to write something, right? To see if they need it. So my subsequent boss went to the 3-star, right? And I told her, I was like, he's not even gonna entertain you right now. So okay, go
Mhm.
ahead. So the 3-star went back. She came back like, oh, like, "Ah." I was like, what did he tell you? He's like, not just no. He said, hell no, I don't. I can. I'm not. I mean, I'm losing intelligence units. You think I'm gonna worry about you guys?
Nah,
It's like, not
hell
only that,
no.
he said, man, straight up.
Yeah.
It's like no. So
But
that's a,
so I don't know about you guys. I spent my entire military career at Fort Liberty, except for basic training, AIT, and airborne school. Right,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
all of it was at Fort Liberty, and my time in the 82nd was similar to my time in the CA branch.
Really?
'Cause I used to fix a TOW and Javelin missile system, right? And I used to tell people I was in the old discom, right? I used to tell
Okay.
people I was in the most hated squad, in the most hated platoon, in the most hated company, in the
Wow.
most hated battalion, in the most hated brigade of all of the 82nd
The
uh,
second,
division. What?
Really?
second brigade.
No, I was in discom. I was in
Oh,
782nd main support.
oh,
I wasn't
different.
even
You're
good enough to
different.
be like, I was a support guy, right? And in my
Okay.
company, we were Bravo company, so we had the warehouse guys,
Yeah.
and then we had the mechanics. And second
Okay.
platoon, we were the nerds, right? We fixed the TOW missiles, the Avengers,
Okay.
the MVGs, and the radios.
Okay.
But the first
Kind
sergeant was always a mechanic, and we had three first sergeants. Two of the three hated us.
of. So you're used to being the redheaded stepchild
Yeah,
since day
so
one, man.
you have a 249, right? You're supposed to spread those out throughout the company.
Yeah.
He's like, no. Give that all to missile, all to the TOW section. Every one of those assholes will carry a 249. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
And you're going to carry your M4 too. Well, okay. And
Dude.
all your
And
ammo. All right.
ammo and everything.
Yeah, like, what am I supposed to say?
That's
No?
No,
Like,
exactly.
okay.
horrible.
So it's like
I remember.
it's like we spend our time in the military. I mean, other than with wars, right? We went to wars and stuff like that. But it's like after that, after I came back from my Afghanistan rotation, right? After all Iraq, he was just like trying to justify my assistance all the time, right?
Yep.
So I have my
Yeah,
elevator speech written down, and I had all that stuff ready to go. Like,
I think with me, it hit me when I went to seventh group.
yeah,
It just hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, hey, bro, nah, you're not doing that CA shit around here. You'd
yeah.
be a staff weenie. And I'm like, but I bring this capability. And it's like, yeah, no,
No, we don't care.
no. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I adapted whatever I was successful, but
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't think we offer anything. And I'll be honest, and
we
I
don't.
think this is where I created my enemies. I've always been transparent. I've been honest.
Yeah,
I told the same thing to the brigade, and they didn't like it. It's like, hey, these capabilities that we're selling, they're not jiving with
no.
the 18 Fox, they're not jiving with the Intel people. They're not jiving with.
Yeah.
It's like our products, our human domain
Yeah.
analysis is BS.
It is.
I created so much enemies. Like, how dare you? You know,
Yeah.
I actually got more support from the PSYOP units than anybody else. I was able to get all the support for JRTC.
Yeah.
These guys didn't care. They're like, hey, you got, and the brigade's like, no, we want to send a whole company to the box. And I was 5. I was a planner. I was like, yeah, 2 teams. That's all we need. No, we won't support. And I was like,
No.
okay. I called the other phone and I called the PSYOP units. Hey, man, you have 2 teams that want to do PSYOP stuff? Yeah, sure. And at that point, I lost connection to the 95th and I never went back. So that's okay. I'm okay with that. You know what? My raider was happy with me.
Exactly.
My senior raider was great. So that's good for me. I'm good with that.
So I saw
But
that
anyway,
it was just like a competition for resources, right?
It is.
Like everybody's trying to like just grab the little bit of like leftover that's there, right?
Yeah.
And everybody wants to say that they're special, right? That they're the top of the spear. They're the best of the best of the best. I explained this to my coworkers because like, what is it? Like not just to be able to cross USASOC, right? And they do a great job. Good, more power to them. I don't ever want to do that job again. But I try to explain to my coworkers who had never been in the military. It's like you have to understand. It's like we're all equally as smart, or we're all equally as dumb. And they still don't understand that. It's like, okay, let me put it to you this way: soft people, they're the smartest people on the short bus.
Yeah, in the military, yes, you got a point.
So, although they might be the smartest of the group, of that group,
yeah,
they're still not Einstein.
yes,
Okay, they're still not a Copernicus, a Galileo, or a Newton. All right, they're still rocking like a IQ of about 50.
They're still dragging knuckles,
right? And I was one of them, so I'm in that group. Okay. I did the best with what I had.
We had, we did the best we had, and I think I was the group CA, the group 9, when before I went to Korea, right? So, and that was right after my command. So I got pushed. We're doing a JRT. It was like those exercises for headquarters for 06s and above. I forgot the name of those. So I pushed. We brought the whole battalion headquarters. They brought the whole battalion headquarters, dude, like over to support, right? Anyway, they set up their stuff, they supporting, and it was funny, man, because our customer, I was the customer at that time. You know, they were the supply. They're like, no, that's not the way we do it. It's like, well, then we don't need you, man. Like, what did you got? We need this, not what you're selling right now. It was to the level that my '06, which I love him to death. I mean, we knew each other from forever. He told the '05 in our battalion, he's like, listen, go get with my 9, and he can pretty sure fix you guys up. I start laughing, man, as I got it, said, I'll be there. I said, listen, this is not what we need. We need X, Y, and Z. I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you were trying to push a product, because at the end of the day, it's a product that some customer will consume, right? So we were trying to push a product that it was not consumable by nobody. Like you, Eli, I was trying to tell everybody, nobody will listen until they hit the wall. And then they wrote a report that stayed within their house. Oh, we're doing great. I was like, no, you're not, man. Like, let me tell you the truth. You're not doing great, dude. You know? So in my mind was if I have an outside entity, like a third party inspection, right? If I have an outside entity telling that I'm doing good, okay, I'm doing good. People are consuming our products. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Some people don't like that. A lot of people don't like that.
I hear like retirees talk about like, yeah, that branch is dead. They're gonna get rid of it pretty soon. One, how would you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you in the military? And 2, and more importantly, why do you care?
Exactly.
So
let it be, man. Let it be.
How did the talking about old people? You had a chance to talk to Colonel Story, retired Story. right?
Yeah, he's doing great, man. Like
How was
he's
that like? Actually, my only conversation with him was in a negative manner. We had to get rid of another individual when I was there as a planner the second time.
Really?
My only conversation with him, he called me up. I was like, "Hey, man,
He was a
I'm
great
looking
guy.
at this. I'm looking at this 15.6. I want to talk to you. Your name's all over this. What's up?" The question he asked me was straight. He said, "Would you go this guy? Do you trust this guy to go to war with you?" 3-minute conversation, and that's as the first and last time I talked to him.
Oh, he was a great guy.
That's all right. I'll let you go, Eli. Bye bye. That's it. That was my conversation. I'm curious how that conversation went with him because he seems like a good dude.
He is, and I told him it's like, so I don't hide it, right? I got my Article 15. I earned my field grade Article 15 and general.
Yeah.
I tell people, generals, they don't just hand those out.
No.
Yeah.
You have to go above and beyond to get a general letter of reprimand. 'Cause I don't do anything half-assed. I'm going to go all the way, right?
All the way.
Yeah, 110%, buddy.
Yeah.
I got it, but at the same time, I got that moved to my what the hell is that?
Close
Local
file.
file.
Yeah,
Local.
the
Restricted file. Restricted
and then
file,
my
yeah.
Article 15, I had that expunged, right? So, but I was talking to him about that, and I said, what I remember of Colonel Story was I remember being in formation and seeing him, and he'd come by and he'd like talk to the battalion or the brigade. It's like that's what I saw of him. I knew I was doing well because I wasn't standing in front of his desk.
Okay.
So I loved him. It was like every time I saw him, he was smiling and giving me a story. I knew whatever he was talking about really did relate to me. Like even with the downsizing of the branch, right? We have some people are going to reclass. Wow, I mean, I'm a jump master. I speak 5 languages, and I'm a medic. Even if I wanted to, you're not going to get rid of me.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So me and George are expendable, so you're not.
Yeah, we were expendables. Like,
to his credit, he said that's the one thing that he does regret. And I'm going to have him on here. He's doing a lot of like leadership, like what's the word? He's going out and talking. Yeah, going out and talking leadership topics. Right?
Okay.
That's what he does now. And he lives not too far, maybe about like 5 miles away from where I live. And he's going to be on here, but he said he's just didn't spend enough time with the captains. Like the captains gave him like a nickname of like the Grave Digger or the Grim Reaper. Because they're like, the only time you talk to Colonel Story, man, is when...
Hold on, you're talking about... Hold on.
Is when you're done.
Let me see if I can... The Story that used to be a brigade commander?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I talked to him, and he was... Because when I went to another exercise in Texas, when I was in 7th group, he was the 9 for that unit, for that general. So I was able to interact with him, and we talked. I mean, seems like a great guy to me, man. Like, you know?
It's just tough when you're the brigade commander. How are you supposed to make time for every person in the unit?
It's impossible, yeah.
I don't think it's needed. Maybe once in a while, but Jesus, I think that is only
for
regret.
an NCO, like if
he did a good job.
If you see Colonel Story, it's like, hey, and he waves to you. Good job, bro. You're doing a good job. If he knows you by name, it's probably not a good thing.
The guy that came after him. So that dude, man, he was rough. Like rough.
I heard.
You know?
All right. No, but what do you say about the brand? Did y'all get into that conversation, or it was all leadership kind of after the Army type of the focus?
Just stuff after the Army. We didn't talk too much about the branch because that was we did the best we could. You look back
in the past.
So my hair, like going back on that, right? On my hair, so you can see like they had to give me a hairline. They had to give me a hairline, right? But this little stuff that's growing in front of it, I'm letting it grow because it looked too much like a poppy lineup. Right? And it's like, I'll be damned if I'm going to spend all this money for new hair and you're going to make me look like a poppy.
A little bit in the front.
Hey, it looks good. It looks good.
I'd rather have a jacked up hairline than have it all lined up like a poppy.
So do
But
you get to be like a spokesperson for them now? It's a pretty damn good success story.
we'll
I mean, I'm
we'll
just
see,
saying.
because I was telling Georgie I have to wait till December, and by December that'll be the final result.
You
They
will have
said
an
it takes like
afro by
about.
December, dude.
So the sides were growing out. I looked like Ronald McDonald, and I wasn't gonna cut it. I was like, I don't give a shit, because who
He
am I
will have
cutting my
an
hair for
afro.
anyway?
He will have an
If I
afro in
can, I will.
December. Okay.
But to get back to what I was saying,
Yeah.
yeah. So like everybody in the military, whoever I had problems with, like I'll help whoever. There's
Yeah.
only one person in the military who I hate. If I see that dude, I'm gonna get a running start and I'm gonna Superman punch that dude. And it was nobody in our branch. It was nobody in our branch. It was
Yeah. Yeah.
somebody,
Yeah.
one of my former first sergeants from the 82nd.
There's some people who are bad people, man. Like,
That's the only person. Other than that, like Benny Good Times, that idiot. He is the dumbest person I've ever met in my life.
yeah. He's
He
not that
and
smart.
I tell people he discredits all of SOF by allowing him in. You said that it's not that special.
Dude.
If that guy needed help with his resume, interviewing, I would help him out,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I think he's an idiot, but I also know you need a lot of help.
Yeah. 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 So I followed them in Peru when I went to Peru.
Okay.
Oh my God. You're talking about cleanup? I spent 6 months cleaning up stuff. Like,
Hey, I do miss the people. I'll be honest with you. Like,
uh,
because now I support the Air Force now. It's a different culture. It's a whole different culture, especially with being supporting pilots.
yeah.
And I was like, man, and there's this IT guy. He's a retired E7.
Yeah.
That's who I talk to all the time. He speaks my language. I mean, believe it or not, we have a certain culture. We have a certain way we talk to each other that
Yeah.
not a lot of people outside that entity speak like that. I
No.
noticed that off the bat, but I do miss the people, man. I miss hanging out with, with you all. I think I miss that stuff.
I miss,
It's
you know what I miss?
it's
I miss the dynamics, man. And
of course it was great. It
so,
was great.
the dynamics. And now I'm laughing. Sometimes I laugh by myself
Yeah,
about stuff like, man.
so now that I'm close to Texas,
Yeah.
I went down and visit my mom for Mother's Day and all that, and my brother's like, "Bro, you got some dark humor." I'm like,
Yeah, same with me. Dude.
I wasn't like that. It's just something that just developed through the years,
Um,
man. It's just,
I,
we saw death in the face, and it's just you laugh about it. All you can do is just laugh about it and just roll with it sometimes, right? And
I in
it's
my
just
job,
interesting, though.
dude, in my job, I'm setting up a warehouse in Huntsville, Alabama, right? So I'm driving. I have an IT guy with me. I have two ops folks and myself. And we're driving to a restaurant, civilians. The ops guy was a former major from Fifth Group, right? So that's the only one who understand me. And then dude, we're driving and we see in one apartment complex the SWAT team going after some dude doing a raid. So I stop and look at it. Hey, yeah, look at this. And we start talking, and the other guy's like, dude, what are you doing? I was like, nothing. We just watching. They couldn't understand. I was like, and I start laughing, and we leave, and I was like, man, I'm sorry, dude. Like, sorry about that. It's just
Yeah, no,
I
it's
have
just
to,
a clash of cultures, yeah. Even
yeah, so I
within the
have to control
military, right?
myself. I have to control myself, especially when we're drinking together, like all of us. Sometimes,
Yeah,
I
and good.
I share some of my stories, especially Colombia stories, to the vanilla, G-rated, and they're like, dude, and they think it's like crazy. It's like, wow, man. Hey, Jorge, tell us that story again. And I was like, oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's a change though. It's
yeah,
sometimes for the professional environment, you got to change your mindset. Like I think Aaron was saying, I go
yeah,
to
so,
work, I leave. I'm still having a hard time with that. Like sometimes, it's like Eli, you got to go, right? It's like, oh, but I'm just finishing this. That's it.
no
They're not
man,
paying you overtime. You're not getting overtime. And by the way, that's not reflected in your time card. You need to go, bro. Like I'm getting better at it. Even as a civilian in General Electric, I caught myself doing that shit. Like I was like, holy crap! Like I'm not in the military anymore. Like
yeah,
I'm not, like it's 9 to 5, 8 to 5, 8 to 6, or whatever. And you got
yeah,
to go. Yeah, but yeah, it's I'm still adapting to it. I'm still like Jesus.
Especially
Yeah.
especially Fridays, man. So I was working with a VP of my account. This guy have a $200 million account. Oh, and we click, and then he put me in his team. So I'm sending emails to him, stuff to do at 3:30 on Friday, right? And I see no response, man. So I keep sending a list.
Of course. Yeah.
5 o'clock, I'm sending a list of stuff to do. And he was like, "Hey, do you have a football game to watch or something? Because it's Friday, man. It's 5 o'clock." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry."
Yeah, it happens. Sometimes I catch myself doing that stuff. I'm like,
now
I'm not. Yeah.
now this is what I did. I clear my calendar on Friday. I have nothing on Friday. So I wake up late. I mean, not late, within the parameters, right? And dude, I try to get the Friday just to recoup and do stuff like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, like. But it's hard. That adjustment is hard.
It is. I'm still getting used to it. I just started in
It's
January, February.
like we're. This is what I explain to people. It's like people think like in the military when you come in, you don't know anything, right? So they send you to basic. They teach you how to march,
Yeah,
teach you how to set up your ruck, how to wear your uniform, how to shoot, right? How to throw a grenade. Throughout your military career, you're taught how to do all this and that and that. What is it? You have to do it 10,000 times before it becomes a
yeah,
natural habit, right? But when you
Yeah.
get out, it's just like, okay, bye, get out of here. No, dude, like you have to practice being a normal person again.
yes.
As weird as it sounds, you have to practice not giving a shit and just relaxing.
Exactly. And
No,
saying
you are
no.
absolutely right, man. It takes
That's
practice
why
to do that.
you guys were asking, like, where am I? Am I asleep? No, I woke up at like 6:30, looked at my clock, pushed it down, and went back to sleep. Woke up at 9, drank my coffee, and then at about 10:30, I went for like a 3-mile run, and then came home and then saw all your text messages. Like, what's wrong with these guys, man?
I'm leaving by myself, so I don't have distractions right now. But
Dude,
it's
I was like, we still doing this? I just forgot. Like yesterday, like I said, man, yesterday is Friday, right? So I
Hmm.
went to one of my sites in Jacksonville for 2 hours, and then I decided, you know what? I'm gonna drive to Orlando right now. So I just took my car out of Jacksonville, went to Orlando, and then came back home, back to Eglin, right? It's it's like,
so you're in England right now?
yeah, I'll stay down here, man.
Oh, nice, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I
Yeah,
retired. That's what I say. I retired. Stay down here, dude.
that's a
Uh,
good place. That's a good place to be. I
I
love my year plus
Yeah,
there.
I was lucky that I bought a house when COVID started, and the
Okay,
guy was trying to sell it. He couldn't, so I just took under the price. So I
that's
stay,
great.
yeah. So I stay here, and so far I'm gonna stay here forever. Like
It's not a bad spot to be. I mean, if
no,
I could go back, I would. So,
yeah,
whatever happens with the Air Force, I'm kind of piggy. I'm a term employee, so I can't be just looking
yeah,
for a job yet. So I'm like, but no, that's I told my boss, I would like to go to Herbert,
yeah,
to go to the coast,
yeah,
but that'll happen eventually. But we'll see what happens.
yeah. But
Yeah. So yeah,
like Tony said, man, you have to practice all this. Dude, it's like my wife told me, like, you have to like think about it, and in my mind, I was like, no, I don't need to do this. No, this is
yeah,
not my
yeah.
company. No.
And you're a former Marine. Did you know that, Aaron? This
Yeah.
guy's a former Marine.
Yeah, I
I didn't know
was.
that.
Oh, you didn't know?
I,
Yeah.
he had to show me the picture. I'm like, nah, you. I was like, oh wow, George was a Marine.
I did some time. I did some time.
I told my guys, it's like I came to the team room. Did you know George used to be a Marine? They laughed. Ah, George was a Marine. It's like I would never believe it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was interesting.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
dude.
like, oh,
Dude, you remember
yeah.
when we were in the team rooms, man? Uh, uh, my team room was in front of the Dewberry's team room, right? You know where
Yeah.
I'm going with this? Like,
Yeah, oh my God.
somebody start changing over with the door open, flat open. So I got my door open, and my team, we were looking at some stuff, and then I look at the door. I was like, "Wow, wow, the heck is this, man?" Like, oh shit.
Yeah, I think that building is non-existent, right? I think that went away. It became
No,
something
so
else.
they gave it. to PSYOP.
Oh, Saya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they built like these two big new buildings, right? These, well, not just two.
Yeah.
Where First SFC command is, that was
Mhm.
Okay.
supposed to actually be for PSYOP.
Oh.
And
Makes sense.
all those old buildings, like on Gruber and
Yeah.
where the 96 used to be, the old 96 and then 98, all those are supposed to be like gone, like given to someone else for
Okay.
warehouse, whatever.
Interesting.
But they stood up the command.
Okay.
So like, where are we going to put the command?
Oh, I see.
Well, we have this brand new building here. Why don't we put them in there? It's like, that's for PSYOP. Not anymore.
Not any.
It's like, damn, bro.
Dude. You know one thing?
Oh God.
Hey, Tony, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, thing that I've noticed from Saya in my last couple of years is, you know, they have the Saya Association or whatever. Those guys are very active in Congress, and they were very active with congressmen and congresswomen across the nation, right? Like they were like
Yeah, I think.
they were. I don't know if our association and CA is that active like they are, but because you remember Santiago Jahaira?
Yeah.
But she was working in the G5 in USISOC, and they were answering congressional inquiries all the time from PSYOPs that she spent like at least once a month because that organization for PSYOPs was very active
Yeah.
with the Congress people, right? So it was basically, yeah, they were very active for everything, man. Like for the costs, I mean everything, dude. Like, I mean they were funding, dude. They were, like I said, they were active. Versus, and then I saw the same thing in when I came to seventh group, and I was the nine. We were very active with our congressman people too, like our senators and our congress people, to the level that we got a $10 million child care center they're gonna build now, right? But I don't see our CA folks being that active at that level, right?
So I don't know personally, and
Yeah,
I don't follow it, and the reason why is so I know some of the people that are in it,
yeah.
and
I don't know.
if they needed help, I would help them, but they're
Yeah,
not people that I want to be associated with,
yeah. That's the
uh,
problem. You're right.
on a professional level or
Yeah,
on just on a friendly level. I don't want to be
yeah,
associated with them. If they need help with something, I'll be more than happy to help them out.
yeah. But it's not
But
worth it.
and for me, I've left that part of my life behind. It's like there
Yeah,
are people to take care of that. Like I
you're
have
right.
what's important for me. I'm working on my PhD.
How's that going?
Hey, how's that going? Yeah.
So for anybody who ever says like I don't know about a PhD, it's just like everything else, right? I used to hear this story when I was in 82nd. Oh man, you don't want to go to SEER school because the first thing they do is they line you up and they just punch you in the face, man.
Oh my
It's
God.
like my friend told me that they just punched him in the face and broke the guy's nose. I was standing right next to him. It's like that doesn't sound like, what do you learn from that if on the first day they just start punching you in the face,
Yeah,
right?
makes sense, right?
So everybody always hypes things up on so hard, or like even my professors like make sure that you finish, like go all the way through, finish your dissertation. You want to be part of that 1%, right? What motivates me? I want to do it just because this is the first degree I'm doing just for me,
Yeah,
solely for nobody else.
just for you. Yeah.
Yeah, not my kids, not my wife, not my parents, just for me. The military and growing up in East LA taught me how to get ready for this degree because everybody talks shit to me in East LA and in the military. Because even when you did something right in the military, oh, you're effed up, you know,
Yeah.
or you're stupid, or man, you're jacked up. It's like, but we're gonna deploy you right on the validation exercises where you did this, and this wrong. It's like, but you're still gonna deploy. All right, so what are we doing here? Whenever I ran a jump, right, I was a primary jump master. I don't know. I was airborne commander 6 times, and primary probably about 15 times in my military career. And every time we do the AAR, it's like, okay, let's give me 3 ups.
Sustains,
Yeah, and it would take like 10 minutes to get 3. It's like, well,
You're right. I tell you that the bad
you
thing.
had you sold sodas out here so people could buy treats. Well, you had buses for us. Right, it took 10 minutes for that. But then you say like, okay, give me 3 improves. It's like, whoa, slow down, bro, slow down. Like you have a list of like 10,000 things.
Mm-hmm.
Right. In East LA, it was the same thing, right? Being a nerd, going out there, running track, I'd have like the dumb kids. Oh, you think you're bad, huh? Like,
That's a Mexican.
it's like, is that a
Well, you
question
think
or is
you're
that
all-
a state? Is that a statement? And then you'd have to run because they didn't know that you insulted them, but they knew
Yeah.
you talked some sort of shit. So you had to run real fast,
You think you're all that? You think you're all
Yeah.
that?
Oh, you
You
think
know?
I'm bad, huh?
I think that's across the board. I have the same thing. I'm like,
And so being in a PhD, like the professor, I submit my papers like you did this wrong, this wrong. You need to do this. You need to improve that. Improve this. And this is garbage. This is horrible. This is nonsense. Oh shit! All right, I guess I failed. Right? And look at my grade, an A. Like,
oh,
what? Okay, I guess I'm not that bad.
No, because I saw.
keep
So I saw your.
yeah.
Because the reason I'm asking, I saw your postings like, hey,
Yeah.
I convinced myself to quit, but then I convinced myself to get back on track. I'm like, well, what was going on?
I quit every
You
day.
know?
Every day. Every day I get an assignment back, it's like, I don't need this shit.
That's what
I
I say.
quit.
Every
I'm out
time.
here. Like, I'm 50 years old. Why am I putting myself through this? And
Yeah.
then I go for a run or I make myself a Sunday. I watch some South Park. It's like, wait, it's not that
Yeah.
serious.
So is the intent with the PhD to teach, or just something you want to do? Like, hey, I want
Right
to
now,
get a
it's just something I
PhD.
want to do. But my dissertation topic is a comparative analysis of the United States. I switched it from Colombia to the UK. The factors that lead veterans to join extremist groups.
Yeah, that's a prime.
That's a good one right
that's
there, dude.
that's a good field right there. I think the UK is going through a lot of political dynamics, right? Population
But-
shifts.
Yeah.
And
What
So that's
I
pretty
found out
cool.
is like the UK, they don't have like a Department of Veterans Affairs.
No.
they don't.
So they rely a lot on NGOs.
Yeah, I was
Right.
talking to when I was in Poland, in Germany,
Uh-huh.
one of the exchange officers, high speed. They send their best and brightest, right? He told me he was on a video with Jose. He said, "Oh, it's our warrant officer NGO." I'm like, "Oh, they want to know if I need something here in Poland." I'm like, "What's that?" Oh, yeah, they send us care packages, and it was a warrant officers, right? They're formal NCOs. I think they call them warrant officers, but that was an NGO. Like all these organizations sending him care packages. It's just like, oh Jesus! Like but yeah, he's right though. Anyway, but yeah, I was learning a lot about the British dynamics, and
Oh, wow.
no mind. They don't have veterans thing. That topic came up. It's like you're so lucky. Like your government actually, but
Yeah.
they have a set structure. It's not the best, but it's a structure there, right?
Yeah.
But it's interesting though. But yeah, that's an interesting topic, man.
So because I had a couple of discussions with like guys that are still in the military, right? And they're like, "Well, is that really a problem?" It's like, "Well, here's my question for you, buddy. What do you know about being a veteran?"
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, because you're still in the military.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. I've seen those memes. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
that's true.
it's like here's the first sergeant or the platoon sergeant giving guidance on transitioning. It's like, dude, you don't know until you get out. Yeah,
So-
no idea.
No
This
idea.
one,
Yes.
this one guy I work with interviewed for a job, right? Back in his home state, because that's where he wants to move to, and he was a good candidate. They were going to offer it. Supposedly, they were going to offer it to him. I don't know. Maybe they just said that to him, but they did not. Right?
Offer
And
never
it's like,
came.
well, why didn't they? It's like, well, when do you get out? Well, I start my terminal leave in 10 months. Then why in the hell are you interviewing for a job?
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's like, well, because they'll wait for me.
No.
No.
You
You're
know
not
they
supposed-
gave
nobody on this planet is that unless you're Jesus,
no.
unless you're Jesus or Mohammed,
Nobody.
nobody's gonna wait for you, man.
That's right. Nobody's gonna wait for you. You're absolutely right.
But that person probably didn't know that.
No, it didn't.
That veteran thing goes out the window. Like, oh yeah, veteran preference doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you know how many days General Electric gave me to take that offer? 2 days. The
Yeah.
Air Force, 2 days. He goes, hey, we're gonna give you 48 hours to make a
Good.
decision
At
because
least
there's somebody right behind you.
they gave
You
me one
know?
day for me. It's like they offered me at 9 o'clock. Hey, we need an answer this afternoon. I was like, you got my
Yeah.
answer right now. Yes, I'll take it.
And I think veterans, that's a slap in the face. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's somebody right behind you ready to freaking fill your bag, bro.
Mhm.
Like that's
And in the civilian,
that's just the way it is.
in my sector is about all revenue, right? Doesn't matter.
Yep.
They don't care who you are, man. Can you bring revenue? Yes or no? And
Yep.
I had a couple of guys that I recommended to be interviewed. They're veterans. Dude, they never make the cut so far because stuff like expectation management for them. I mean, you did all these things in the military, but in the civilian sector, you haven't proven yourself yet. So
No, no, no.
you need to sometimes take a lesser step, like
You
and
do?
and I start climbing the ladder again. And some people cannot comprehend that, man. Like it's nothing
No.
grabs.
No. They're like, I want to make the same as I made when I got
Yeah,
out. Good
exactly.
luck.
Good
It
luck
ain't
with
gonna
that.
happen. Yeah, good luck. I think we're getting overpaid for what we're doing. In my opinion, active duty, we're getting way overpaid.
Nobody was.
That's my personal opinion. That's me, right?
I used to tell the guys like, listen, man, nobody's gonna give you $100,000 if you have not been proven in the field
No,
yet. You know?
not at all. Not at all.
I,
But yeah, no, there's a rude awakening for me too. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I remember, and this wasn't just in the 95th, but I remember hearing this in the 82nd about guys who would talk about, man, I'm getting out. My boy's gonna hook me up, bro. I'm gonna go down to
Yeah.
Florida. He's gonna pay me 150,000 a year, and I don't have to do shit. All I have to do is like show up like 3 times a week from 10 o'clock to about 1, and then that's it. I don't have to do shit. Nobody's gonna pay you $150,000 to do nothing.
No, exactly. Yeah.
No, man. And yeah,
Nobody.
no,
They expect
no.
double that. They expect double that investment to come back.
Yeah, but it's all about revenue, man. Georgie's right. It's just the
Revenue.
way it is. Yeah,
It
it's
hit me. It
revenue.
hit me a little bit, and I'm glad because I have 5 months of terminal leave. So I figured it out in the first 2 months of intensive looking and interviews. I was like, this approach doesn't work. We need to figure something out here. What they told
Yeah.
me is not working.
Mhm.
Like,
And everybody's experience is so different. Like
yeah,
I see a lot of these, folks that help out. Well, this uses resume. It's like at the end of the day, it's just what value do you bring, man? Like
yeah.
that's what I noticed. I don't know about you, hey Rob, but it's just
So for me, again, the best thing that ever happened to me, the best thing that happened to me in my military career was that Gomar and that Article 15.
yeah,
Because prior to that, I thought it was like the elementary school mentality. I thought we were all friends.
Yeah.
yeah,
No, we were not. The majority of us were just coworkers.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
A
true.
level above acquaintances.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what? This guy's gonna protect me one day. All right, you're above acquaintance. All right.
And so I had to when that happened to me, the majority of people turn their backs on me. It's like you're a dirtbag, you're a shitbag,
Yeah,
you're worthless. Like there's no reason. Just get out. Just get out.
yeah,
There's no reason for you to be, and that's fine. So I realized I had to have a plan
Yeah.
to make myself marketable, right?
Yeah.
People
exactly.
ask like, well, why are you continuing with school? Hey, bro, I have 3 masters. You want to know why? Because 3 masters looks better than 2.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I apply for a job, I get a call back, right? It usually stops because they ask like, how much do you want? It's like, we can't afford that. They're, okay, no hard feelings.
Yeah.
Maybe next year I'll decide that I'll take less.
Yeah.
But this year I'm not. So, and that's fine. Got my degrees while I had the
Yeah.
opportunity. Got my PMP because the PMP test is not hard. Like,
It's not hard. I haven't taken
no,
it.
not at all.
I hear it is.
So you have to study. Like you can't just show up and
Yeah.
and
Is
don't do like I did with my
today?
GRE. I just showed up for the GRE. I didn't study for it. It's like,
You
not
gotta
at all.
say,
No, I was happy because I got like a 302, so I was like, man, that's pretty good for not studying.
You're smart.
But
I couldn't
But
do that.
the
is that
PMP, you just study like they make you go through the week-long course, right?
yeah
You have to do that,
yeah you
and
have to
then
do that yeah.
just buy like a study guide or something and just read it a couple of times, and you'll pass it
That's what I
because they
need. I need
don't.
to take the test. I haven't taken it. Well, I don't
Yeah,
need to. I don't need to. I would like to, but I don't need to.
yeah,
Like, I mean, and I'm a senior project manager in my company, and that's the highest level you can get as a PM, right?
yeah,
At the end of the day, it's like I had a conversation last week. I was in Atlanta, and the president for my account was there, right? And he was like, we were drinking, and he was like, Jorge, at the end of the day, I need somebody who solves problems,
yeah.
and
That's what it is. You're right.
I don't want to lose time or money. That's what I need. Somebody who can
Fix
solve
it.
my problems, not losing time or money. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Got
Fix
it.
it.
And for you,
That
Georgie, like, would it even be worthwhile for you to, because you already have the experience that you have on your
yeah,
resume and you have something that's quantifiable that you could put on
yeah,
there? But for me, like my project management is just stuff for the military. So for
yeah.
someone like me, having that PMP or the Agile, because I'm going to take my Agile certification
Yeah, take
test
that too. Yeah.
in August, so I can have that. And for me, it helps because like, well, okay, this guy might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but at least he understands the basics of project management.
That's a guaranteed phone call back. Like
Yeah,
I was able to work with my boss when resumes comes in, right? First thing that I mean in my company, I don't know if it's all of them, right? They look at bachelor's degree. You gotta have a bachelor. Yes, okay, you go into the good pile, right? Uh, you got a master. You got a master. Okay, you go to the pile. Okay, you got the PMP, but no experience. Okay, you go to the better pile, the short pile, right? You got PMP agile. You go to the leader short pile. That we're gonna call you back. You know, like that's how they look at
Man,
it. You know.
I got to get that PMP for sure because I've heard good things about it. Like it's what's hot right now. It's that certification. You need it. It's a lot of companies, private sector, they love that stuff.
and
Uh,
so Eli, if you haven't like done the training, you could look like Google or use. I love AI now. I love
oh,
Copilot.
I love AI too. Yes.
Copilot's my best friend. I love
Copilot. Use
Copilot.
Copilot.
Yeah.
I use ChatGPT 4.0, man. Like,
So I like Copilot because it'll list the references.
yes, I've been using that lately for
So when it shows up with Wikipedia, it's like get out of here, dude. Like
yeah.
that's garbage. But Eli, you can look up Onward to
Yeah,
Opportunity.
definitely.
Onward to Opportunity. They offer the training, the PMP,
Yes.
for guys who are getting out and for people who are already out. If you're a veteran, and
Okay.
they'll pay for that training is like
It's
two
free, right?
thousand dollars. Yeah, they'll pay for that week long
Yeah.
training. The
So I took
training
that
is
training, dude. Yes.
$2,000, and then the test is like another $550, and
They
they'll
pay
pay for
for
that.
it.
Yeah,
I
I
did
need to
not
get
take the
hot on
test.
that.
I did not take the test, but I took the training with Onward. Like, and that saved me in my interview because I was speaking their language,
yeah.
and I was able to sell myself that I didn't have to look at the PMP certification. But I took
That's pretty
definitely.
good though.
I tell you what, definitely take the training. If you're gonna take one thing, the training, the training, the training. That gets
Yeah.
you.
So onward forward. I gotta look it up. Definitely though, because
I might send you the link later on.
yeah,
It's
no, send it to me. I'll do
it's
it. So
it's
it's
run by the Syracuse University, right? That's the one that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
If you go on
That's
LinkedIn, like the people that I follow, the lady here at Fort Bragg, her name's
Okay.
Alicia Mock, Mock. You can look her up
okay.
on LinkedIn. She's the one who helped me like get all of it set up.
Alicia Monk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to follow because it's a dude that he did open my eyes a lot that course.
yeah,
And I took it when I was in Korea, man. So I was doing like reverse schedule. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, dude. But he opened your eyes, like to the. I mean, we do some of the things in the military, just different names, and civilians
yeah.
understand it very different nomenclatures, vocabulary, stuff like that that help you out in the interviews. That's what I use in my interviews, man. Like,
okay.
yeah. So
I gotta try it out there.
he does, and then I found out this, bro. I don't know if you found out, but I found out some defense PN contracts require the test. That's the first
Yeah.
requirement.
For a project manager.
for defense contracts. Yeah, because the
So
federal
now
government.
they're
Yeah.
it's mandatory.
Well, it's required, but I mean, you have to be a strong salesman to sell yourself without it. But if you have it, dude, you
And
guarantee
you
that
did
phone
it.
call
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a
Yeah.
so I was able to sell myself. But
Yes.
if you got it, you will guarantee a phone call back from those people.
Yeah. Hopefully, so my resume crosses your desk. Let me know.
Hey, send
Yeah,
it over.
because so the Air Force hasn't. I'm a term employee, so for the next 45 days, you're going to start fixing the budget for next year. Sooner than that, they're going to let me know. It's ain't nothing personal. You're a term
Yeah.
employee, so with the job budget. So the only reason I got hired was to stand their foreign disclosure program. That's the reason
Mhm.
why pretty much I got hired.
Hey, send me
But
your resume, man. Send me your resume because we have a couple PM openings. They're remote.
yeah, I'll send it to you.
They're remote with travel though. If you wanted to travel, but they're remote. So
Go with that. Yeah, I'll send it to you for sure, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
send it over.
because I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. So I
Yeah, just
mean,
in case, man. And I help you. I'll help you out through the interview process.
sure. All right, you got it.
So the latest thing I did was a data analytics course through UNC
I
Charlotte.
saw. Okay. Hey,
It
how
was good. It
many?
was.
You have
What's
a
up?
lot of certifications. 3
Dude, the
master's
data
degrees.
analytics, that's pretty
Well,
good too, right?
but yeah, data analytics is pretty hot right now. Like the biggest thing is like, do you know the right question to ask?
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I
And then
know.
once you know the right question, um, how do you dig deeper and deeper and deeper? Right? Like just because you have data doesn't mean it's useful data. You have
Ah,
to be
gotcha.
able to
Yeah.
use that data to answer your question.
Okay.
More
Like,
data isn't necessarily good. It's like there's a
Yeah,
lot
we
of
have
data.
that's
a
Like what we all saw in the military. Look at all this data I have. What does it mean? I don't know.
oh,
Awesome.
yeah, we have
it
a
looks good on a bar.
no, we have a data analytics guy in my team, and that's
Yeah.
he put together all those reports for the big boss. Like some of the percentages and the analysis of the data, why this month were lower than last month and stuff. And he even was able to identify patterns in the data and things like that. Yeah, so that's
And they need you there.
yeah, I know. It's my son just came running out of here my day room, but yeah, but that's a good one too, no? To
Yeah.
Data
But
analytics.
along with that, they gave me a 3 year subscription to Tableau,
oh, the
right? To
Tableau, yeah.
yeah, so I could because I wasn't familiar with that. In one of my interviews, they asked like, "Are you familiar with Tableau?" And I said, "Oh yeah, of course." I had no idea what it
I
is,
did the
right?
same thing. Yes, I look at it on the internet. Let me check it out.
So of
Yeah,
course, yeah.
but now that I'm using it, it's like, man, this is awesome. I wish I would have known about this years ago, right? Because it puts the
Tableau.
information that you have into a very user friendly format, so somebody
Oh,
can see
really?
Okay.
it instead of sitting there trying to create these stupid charts on PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Tableau does the work for you, right?
I need to look into
Okay.
that. I've been
And
using I use Power BI right
yeah,
now. I use Smart Sheets, which is good for formatting timelines and stuff like that. And some guys are using Tableau. I haven't expanded myself to Tableau yet, but
yeah,
But you have to pay, right? But they give you a year subscription. You said.
yeah. So I have the free year subscription, so I can take their Tableau certification test whenever I'm done with their training.
dude, if
Okay.
you these certifications are not hard. It's just you have to get the time to do it. That's all.
Yeah,
Oh no, I got time now. It's all I have to do is leave work early. I don't have to work late anymore.
I
yeah,
know, right?
If we know what's funny is like lunch period. Like you get an hour, or as long as you work it in, like 45 minutes for lunch or an hour. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
Nobody
it's
bothers you that time. It's like
no.
nobody bothers you that time. It's
No,
like
and I think even so, the Air Force mission that I'm in right now, it's a training mission,
yeah,
but their admin area closes from 11:30 to 1. That's great.
that's awesome.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
So unofficially, that means the civilians are not working either. So this is pretty cool. I like that. You know, the culture's a little bit different though, but yeah,
But
I'm still adapting.
I'll tell you what, man. Once you adapt, you'll feel like, for me, the energy went up.
It
The PT went down, but my energy went up. You know what I'm
did.
saying?
So you guys, when'd you leave, Georgie? Like
Huh?
2 years ago? You left?
Sure. Yeah, 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end of 22.
So
That's when I left.
so so it's been like what, 2 years so far?
A year. I mean, like 18 months or so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's
Thank
just
God. I haven't left the job.
so you took that one job and you just
Yeah, I mean, they give me good working conditions to, like, I make my own calendar. I make my own schedule for travel. Like, I mean, they don't tell me anything. He's like, yeah, keep doing what you do. And I was like, okay. Like,
that's pretty good.
so,
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
and I'm not the best paid. My company's not. Let me tell you, there's other companies who pay more, right? 20 grand, 30 grand more. But
you're comfortable.
I'm comfortable, man. My working conditions are good. And so that's what I'm comfortable. I spend time with my dog and my son. Look at hey, so this right here.
Peace
You
of
cannot buy
mind,
that
man,
at
is
the house.
priceless. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think, you know, and I'm good where I'm at. Like once the VA starts kicking in, I'm
Yeah.
okay where I'm at. And this, you know,
Mhm.
if
Yeah.
I can say a GS11, I'm good with that. I don't want anything else. Like I'm comfortable, right?
I
But
talked.
you know,
I talked to the old comptroller for Seventh Group. So he got a similar job. He's a Mexican guy from San Antonio, San
okay.
Diego, sorry, San Diego, and he took a lesser job doing comptroller stuff. He's like, dude, I'm doing like a E5 job, but he's like, I'm happy as hell, man. I just sometimes I feel like stealing their money because it's easy work. It's
Yeah,
just like I'm not getting promoted. It's like, I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
I'm good with that too.
Yeah,
I know,
man, it's
and
awesome, dude. I don't want to get promoted either. I'm fine. You
yeah,
know?
it's the anything for you, A-Rod? Because you've been what? You've been out for a little
Yeah.
bit longer than that.
I got out. I started this job August 29th of 2022.
Okay.
Okay.
And so after the first year, I started doing like what I would do in civil affairs, right? What a lot of people would do, like you get a job and then you immediately start looking for your next job, right?
Yeah, yeah.
To like get promoted. And then I stopped and thought, it's like, why am I doing that? Like, I like where I work. I like the hours. More importantly, I like the people I'm working with.
Yes.
Like, why am I trying to find something else that's going to cause me to lose my hair again? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I still look to see what's out there, but like it's has to be, in order for me to leave, it's going to have to be something big.
Yeah, that's why I say the
like
same thing. It have to be like something significantly higher to
Like what
start.
in the
Yeah.
amount of dollars or what for you guys?
For me, it's dollars. I'm not gonna lie
Okay,
to you. Yeah.
I,
of course.
I don't know. I have to
Yeah.
see what they offer first.
Yeah. Other people, man, you feel like other people. It's like where they live. Like we had guys that didn't want to move, or guys who want to work remote, and they willing to take less money to work remote. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, people have different, different things that make them happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just different, like
Yeah.
man. Yeah, because for me, I'm in that transition where like, all right, I don't know if the Air Force is going to extend me, so I need to start looking at jobs out there, which I haven't done. I'll be honest, because that time when I transitioned, like from last year, October, or beyond that, that was brutal. Resumes, like interviews, like
Yeah, dude.
jeez, that was stressful, man. Like being told no, that's horrible.
Oh, oh,
USA told me no like 6 times. The VA
really?
told me oh, and the VA like 3 interviews with the VA say no, bro. It's like the interview was so like check the block. They were late to the interview. They're
Oh, yeah.
just looking at me. It's like interview was over in 4 minutes.
Now, if you want a good job,
Yeah.
if you want a good job that you want to lose hair, go to the Amazon military program. Since you are over there in Oklahoma already, Uh,
American.
you're gonna make money. Don't get me wrong, but you're gonna work your ass off. They'll train you from zero to hero, and but you're gonna run one of their warehouses, and then you have to make numbers, and
Yeah,
so you're
project
gonna be
volume.
living in that warehouse 13 hours.
Man, I was already in a General Electric plant for like
Yeah, something like that.
4 months. That was hot. It's uncomfortable working conditions, right? It's just
Yeah,
it's in wintertime it's rough. During the summertime it's even worse.
I
Right?
mean
It was one of
they pay good money. I mean, you're talking about yeah, they pay very very good money, but the working conditions are not good for me. I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. you
it
know?
was rough. It was rough.
Yeah,
Like it was yeah, I mean for me it was like, man, so do I want to do this for 20 years? So my supervisor was a B8. He was happy. He was content. He didn't make that much money over what I was doing.
yeah,
He was happy. I mean, with his VA stuff coming in, right?
yeah.
Everything
That's what I'm
else.
at, man.
He was happy. He was comfortable. I told him, hey, I've been doing this for 10 years. It's like, you good? It's like, yeah, I'm comfortable. If I have a guy in your position doing the dirty work, of course,
Yeah.
is that the day you leave is when, I kind of have to do both jobs. I have to be
Hey,
both.
Eli. So, how old are your kids? They're still
So it's
small,
too
right?
young because I started late. So I just got married at 27. So 13, 8, 5, and 1. Yeah, I had a baby
So,
last minute. Yeah.
so
Oh, you
Eli,
gotta work.
uh,
Last year I had a baby.
Eli, I know we're both Mexicans, but
Yeah.
starting at 27 isn't late. We think it is because people in our family had kids at 15.
Of
That's
course.
early. That's
So,
ridiculously early.
okay, I guess in the American, it's normal.
Dude,
In the Mexican world, it was like, hey, buddy, what's up? What's going on?
I started at 31, and everybody was thinking, "You cannot have kids or what?" I was like, "No, I just
Trust
don't
me,
love you."
I didn't have any trouble having kids. Thank God I didn't have any trouble with kids.
yeah,
But so my
no,
wife wanted to have another one right before transition. I was like, "You sure about this?" And I mean,
right?
it's a blessing. Kids are a blessing, man. I mean,
They
just
are.
of course they are. I mean, they're a pain in the butt. But
The reason why I can do these certs is because my kids are grown.
how many
So,
grandkids you have now?
two, the
Oh, really?
granddaughter, yeah,
Yeah, he's already
granddaughter.
grandpa.
She's she's my number one. She's my tag team partner. And then the young
Wow.
one, Eugene. I call him Gene because like I'm not calling you Gene. You're gonna get beat up, kid. Calling you Eugene. But I do the Mexican thing, right? My granddaughter, I'm nice to her. It's like, yeah,
Of
good job.
course.
It's like, and
Yeah,
Eugene, he can already count. He's one and he's counting, right? It's like, do better, Eugene.
you better.
What's wrong with you? You can only count up to 10.
Dude,
Yeah,
I,
so yeah, that's funny, man.
dude, but I tell
Culture,
you what,
bro.
my daughter's starting college now this summer.
Yeah, I
That's
know,
what
yeah, because I know you had a daughter,
yeah, that's what I was in Orlando, man. And I mean, they're leaving the house now. The house is getting quieter. I'm like,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't have my son now left over. I was like,
So
but
you just have two, right?
two, yeah, man.
The
And
boy.
then yeah, then I got the vasectomy down in when I was in Fort Moore in
I got
Georgia.
it.
I did it down there, man. I was like, do this.
No, I had it done in Fort Knox. So
Yeah,
that's when I was like, I'm done. I was like, hey, this is no
yeah,
mas.
yeah.
It's
That's what
like,
I said. I mean, for us, I was getting old, man. I'm like 49 now. It's like running around kids is getting hard.
oh man, yeah, no, it's rough though. But no, I think with young kids, it's not impossible. You just gotta
So
make
getting the
time.
certs
yeah,
help like fill up my time because if I was telling Crespo because I saw him just last week, it's like, yeah, I started doing two a days. Like, man, why are you doing that? It's like, Crespo, it's not like two a days when we were in the military.
Yeah,
yeah,
Like, I jog 2 miles in the morning, and then in the afternoon, if I have the energy, which maybe just like one day out of the week, I'll go jog 1 mile or I'll walk 1 mile.
slow
Two a days
pace.
doesn't mean I'm running 20 miles in the morning and then another 30 in the afternoon. Crazy.
Yeah,
but
Crespo, how's he doing? I remember Crespo. How's he doing?
He's doing great. He has he opened up his
garage, right?
his garage out here on Bragg Boulevard,
Nice.
and
Okay.
Yeah, because
he's
I remember he
expanding.
used to like cars and stuff all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. And so Junior's great because he's like unofficial transition point for guys who are getting out of the military.
Okay.
When they're on terminal leave, it's like, what do I do? Nobody's calling me. I thought somebody would call me. When they're
It's
faced with the
rough.
reality that nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, exactly, man. True.
When they're like, nobody's calling to check on me. I'm not getting these texts. And so they'll go see Junior. He's like, hey, here's a T-shirt. Like, get to work, bro. Like, start working on some cars.
That's good, man. That's good because that was a hit for me, man. Like you're by yourself when you get out.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, man. That was rough for me. I was staying awake. I wasn't sleeping.
I said, do I need to go to the doctor?
Exactly. So actually, it helped me out because it was that time when I had my VA, psychologist interviews.
Yeah.
It's hey, you're under a lot of stress, buddy. Like he's like,
Oof.
yes,
Oof.
yes. Document it, please. Document.
Yeah.
So it's like anxiety. Yes, yes, yes. Of course, But it's a rough time, man. It's it's rough. I think it's something you don't forget.
Because
No, man.
if I'm not like doing school, I was like my big excitement was like, watering the lawn,
Really?
like, and feeding the rabbits that live in the woods. They'd come out and just hang out on my lawn, so I'd go out there and throw some lettuce at them and just let them like that. That was what I was doing. It was relaxing, but it's like maybe I could be a little bit more productive than just
Yeah, your brain needs
watering
a
the
stimulus.
lawn.
So you did that for a year. So you were unemployed for a year. That's pretty much you took a
Who,
break.
me?
Yeah.
No, I took exactly 10 days off and started working. I was working when I was on terminal leave because I would have gone nuts.
Yeah.
So I hear people regret that. Like I've talked to two dudes, two EAs. They're like, oh, they regret it. Say, oh, I burnt out. But did it work out for you?
People need to be honest with who they are.
Yeah.
Right. I know who I am. If I would have taken time off, I can't. 2 weeks is the limit of what I can take off. Everybody's mad at me. So great. I would have started my 9 mil. And I know it because I have anxiety. I remember discussions or arguments I had when I was 7 years old.
You start going back in memory lane.
I replay them in my head, right? If I have nothing to do, I just replay every argument I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
So you just got to maintain busy.
I have to do something. If it's reading a book, riding a bike, I don't care what it is. Playing my guitars back there, what I have to do something.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You have to be honest with yourself of what works for you. There's some guys who like, man, I got out and all I do now is with my disability and my retirement, I just smoke pot. That's it.
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning, I smoke pot, and I smoke pot throughout the. Bro, if you can pay your bills and you're not hurting anyone, if that makes you happy.
Yeah.
Like I have my medicinal marijuana card. Okay, live it up, bro. Do whatever. Like, please don't get high and then decide I'm gonna get behind the car and do the Indy 500.
Yeah,
and they
exactly.
don't. They're just mad. I just sit home in my lawn and smoke. Okay.
You remember?
They're happy. They're happy.
You remember Edgar Rodriguez?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
He took a year off, and he was fine. His personality allowed him to do that. I couldn't. I was like working within my terminal leave because I was going crazy in the house. I was like, man, but my anxiety kicks in. He was fine. He would just go out and run 3 miles in the morning. They'll take a nap, and then he did great. I said, Edgar, I don't know how you can do it, man.
Yeah. Did he get married? Did he get married or?
Yeah, he's married with a kid.
He's married. Okay.
Married a girl from Texas, and he moved back to Texas. He's in Austin right now, working for Leidos.
Nice.
I was like, dude, I don't know how you took that much time off. I just couldn't. Yeah.
So just everybody's different, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah, it is, man. It's who you are. I agree with Tony right there, man. Like who you are. What float your boat, man, I guess.
It just depends, man. Man, because I had no choice because I didn't retire.
Yeah.
Separated. So,
Well, I was forcibly retired. Let's put it that way. Not forcibly retired. I decided I'm gonna retire. But anyway, at the same time, it's like, hey, you have to be out by October 1st. Like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's like a slap in the face. It's like, man, it's like it's like it's coming. Get ready. It's
Yeah, it worked out for me. So I'm like,
I was med boarded, right? And
yeah.
when I got the decision, they're like, okay,
6 months.
so no. When you get the decision, the final decision,
Yeah.
it's like I got it on July 18th. They said August 18th, you will sign out for terminal leave.
Oh, yeah, that's right. A month.
I said, can I extend it? Because I want to start my terminal leave. I wanted to start like 10 days later. No. Okay.
Thought
Yeah.
you got more time than that.
It's like you have, so the whole process from the time you get in takes
Mm-hmm.
about 6 months
Oh,
from
okay.
going to all your exams
Mm-hmm.
and for the Pueblo to get all your stuff so they can send it to San Antonio and then the board to make a decision. That takes about 5 months. And then once that decision comes in, if they said yes, you're getting out, then you have 30 days to clear everything.
That's stressful. No wonder he had him here. I think
No.
Yeah, man, I will be like,
No, I was telling Georgie, my blood pressure started coming back when I decided to retire. Like it started coming down, and I was ready for that because I already knew. So I got out in August. I started doing interviews in late June
yeah.
because I was told it's like they're pretty slow, but some are real quick. It might be as fast as like 2 weeks. Some it might take 2 or 3 months for them to make a decision. So that's how it worked out. I had 3-4 offers like when I accepted this job,
Yeah.
but they all took about 2 months.
Yeah, that's what
Except
it took me.
this job needed somebody right away. So they reached out to me because I applied to be like like you remember the language guys?
Yeah.
I applied to be like one of those, right? For like second
Yeah,
Italian and
because
Swiss.
if I remember right, Aaron has a 3.3 in Spanish.
Yeah.
He scored better than me. I could never go beyond 3.2 plus. To the day I got out, I took a test in Fort Knox.
Yeah.
I got 3.3 once, and that's coming back from South America the second
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And now it's like my brain is like, that's pretty incredible, man.
Well,
Dude,
they changed it to DLPT. It's easier.
really?
Portuguese too, right? You speak
Yeah, because it's not
Portuguese.
the
Yeah.
DLPT for Spanish isn't 63 questions anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They dropped it down to like about 35 to 40.
Yeah,
It's
it's
still rough. It's still rough though.
I scored better than that new test. Like I was like 3+4, things like
Jesus
that. That the old one.
Christ.
The old one I was
Yeah.
a 3. This one is, and it's like you said, I wrote. It's like depends how you answer. It goes up and down, right?
Yeah.
And you can finish it pretty quick.
Yeah. If you're a dumbass, man, you'll be out of there in like 15 minutes.
And I couldn't
5
do
minutes you'll be
that.
out.
No, I was there for like 30 minutes. 30, I
Yeah.
don't know, 30, 40 minutes. But yeah, 3.2 plus, I couldn't go over that hump. I was like,
Yeah.
man. I was like off by 1 point, man. I could see it like the record's been. But yeah, man, okay. Yeah, so you could have been an instructor there, a language instructor,
Yeah. So
pretty much.
I applied for that, but they needed a new position opened up.
Yeah.
So, and the funny thing, remember Charlie?
Yeah.
His
Or,
brother was the director of the program.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yes, he
Yeah.
was.
And he's the one who saw my resume and is like, hey, handed it to my boss. You might want to interview this guy. He seems like a nerd like you guys. Those were his exact words.
Go to your people and
Go back to your educated people over there, please.
So they like, hey, do you want to come in? It's like, yeah, why not? I mean, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
But I had the 3 offers, so I told them it's like these places aren't going to wait, so I need to know like when will you? It's like we'll have an answer for you within 24 hours. Like okay.
Okay.
And
That's
so
good.
yeah, the other 2 people that interviewed were Intel people, right?
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, like it was a new position, so nobody applied for it. We all applied for something different.
Okay.
And so they just took applications from this pool that they had, and they said,
Yeah.
hey, just pick people that you want to interview from here. right?
Yeah.
And so the Intel people were like, "Well, how'd you get my
Oh
application?
my god.
Oh, please. Yeah.
How do you know about me?" I was like, "I didn't. What do I care?
You gotta
Yeah.
give
If
it
you
up,
want to
man.
interview me for a job, I'll take the interview. Like, what do I care? I don't care if you got it from the crackhead down in the Merc, man.
Man,
Dude, trust me.
at
Yeah. I
that
don't care.
point, you feel that application, man. Your information's already out there,
Dude,
bro.
it's
Like,
gone, man. I think it's all over the world, man. Because I remember because I put it in a couple of websites. I remember I put it in my resume. I got called from people with different accents, man, than mine.
I still get texts. Are you
I was
still
like,
interested? I'm like, who in
no,
the hell is this?
no, I'm not. I was like, no. Finally, they stopped calling, but like, people from all
Yeah.
over the place, man. I got your resume through this. I had your resume through that. I was like, yeah, sure.
Dude, I submitted so many applications, resumes, I lost count. Like this
No, me
job,
too.
they called me. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, we're calling you from Oklahoma.
Oof.
I was like, I'll be honest with you, which one? Like, I really you submit so many applications, man. Like,
So
it's
the family's
crazy.
gonna move. The family's gonna move to Oklahoma.
Yeah, so I'll go pick them up in 2 weeks. So
Nice.
yeah, because the kids finish school,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then I'll bring them
exactly.
over. Yeah, I'm taking a risk, but hey, it's okay.
It's worth it, man. I'm telling you.
I mean, hey, if I get extended, great. If not, then I'll be calling you guys for some assistance. Hey, look over my
Yeah, send me
resume.
a resume send me a resume, man.
Yeah,
might
I'll
be
send
able
it
to
to
get some
you.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. But yeah, no. So you guys are success stories, man. Incredible. Private sector, man. I'm proud of you, man, because I was getting tired.
No, it's hard. At the beginning, it was hard. Then after
Yeah,
that, I figured it out. I guess I figured it out. What are they? Like everything, like you figured it out. But I don't know. I was lucky because my boss that hired me, she was a Marine, former a Marine E6. She retired. She had a PhD too, and then she's like, "Hey, I mean, I was just lucky that she got me in, right?" And then from there, she mentored me through the process, and I was able to figure everything out. And I was like, okay. And
Jesus.
then I found this other guy who was a fifth group major. He retired. He's a senior director, and then we just crossed paths, man. He's like, because I used a word in one of my briefing was like, hey, the 50-meter target is this one, the 25-meter target is this. Then he was like, "Hey, you were in the army?" I was like, "Yes, yes." I was like, "Oh, major. I was a major in fifth corps. I mean, fifth
Yeah,
group." I was like, and then another white pop out of the blue. He's like, "Yeah, I was in the Navy. I was Navy SEAL for X amount of time." I was like, "Okay." So these guys kind of like, they're old, but they like mentor me across the process that they did it
Jeez.
before me. I was like, "Oh shoot, that's good. I didn't know." You know?
No, I mean, for me, like, man, it's like if I have to go to the private sector, I'll do it though. But even the contractor route, like, I hear
Yeah.
that's not a bad deal though. I mean,
It's not the only downside to contractor is that it's at will employment. So any day at any time they could come in and
yeah,
say, "Hey, we don't need you anymore." Okay.
pretty
So
much.
So mine is the same way. The private sector now, they have that clause in there that tell you like we don't need you, we don't need. They tell you don't come back next day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Rough.
Especially in the states that you have the right to work, like Florida, Alabama. They have that clause everywhere, man. Like
Yeah.
they're like don't come. I mean, they give you a severance pay and stuff like that, but
So Eli, you know what really helped me? Just dealing with because the people I work with, most of them weren't in the military, right?
yeah.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
So I know both of you remember this, where you see guys like in the team room and they're having a discussion and it turns into an argument, or
Hmm.
even just like talking about whatever about mission stuff, and they're arguing,
Politics.
arguing, arguing, arguing. It's like, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
You're two dudes in a team room.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Nobody give a rata. Yeah.
What difference does it make? Just shut up.
Yeah.
Right. And so for me, I was like, what do you guys want to do? Sounds good to me. Like, what do I care?
Yeah.
You want to give a brief on this? Sure. Okay. Between the hours of 8 and 4.
Other than that, hell no.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. So
I don't care. Like,
as far
I
as
never want to go back to Guyana again. Right.
No.
No. But they're like, hey, man, you know a lot about Guyana. Will you give a brief on it? Yes. Between the hours of 8 and 4.
Working
Yeah,
out or
you know,
something. That's
it's
it.
funny because I work with contractors with Boeing and FSI, and they love
Yeah.
it, man. These guys love their jobs, right? But with the caveat that, hey, that the Air Force doesn't pay in this certain amount of time, money to work
Yeah.
on that syllabus, they're not
Yeah.
doing it. That's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to talk to this retired lieutenant colonel. Hey, sir, can you help me out? I love you to death, bro. But Big Air Force hasn't paid me yet. So once they pay me, I'll call you. Just like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, dude, it's all about money, man. Like,
It's just money. Like the Air Force hasn't paid him to do the syllabus again or to revamp
yeah.
it. It's like, hey, man, I'll get it to you so you can do your FTO stuff. But not yet. I haven't gotten paid yet. It's
Yeah.
like, geez, that's just waving. It's just,
So last year when budget was cut across the military, of course our program was like, hey, you guys got to make cuts, right? And so I'm appreciative of my coworkers because the other instructor for PSYOP, right? She like really emphasized like, hey, like you have to produce numbers, right? Because we had instructors for PSYOP, CA, and for the groups, all the groups, right? Well, two of the groups didn't utilize their instructors.
Mm.
Well, the instructors like you have to go out and you have to find customers, right? You don't have to be aggressive and every day be at the commander's door like, hey, could I provide you guys with briefs today? Because they're going to try to pound sand, dude.
Yeah.
Once a month, send an email. Hey, I'm still here. Would you like some briefs on this? Whatever.
yeah.
Right? What do I care? They didn't. They coasted. So their numbers were. They had to let go of two instructors across for us, right? And they thought, wow, last one in is the first one out. Hey, sorry, Tony, you're gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought
They
that
kept
too,
you.
right? Because that's how the military is, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the boss is like, no, dude, like you're staying. Like
Yeah.
they don't do anything. They collect a paycheck.
Yeah.
And when they do provide briefs, they don't even do the briefs. They get outside people to do a brief, and we have to pay for that person to speak. It's like, why are they here? They're like, no, they're gone. So
No,
I
it's
mean,
like it's money, man. It's like
yeah,
happened to me. It happened. They did like two restructurations in my company, and I thought I was gonna be let go, and they're like, no. Yeah, we're gonna let go other PMs, not you, man. You're staying. I was like, okay.
They
So the
like
other
you.
was well, I work. I mean, it's easy work, so I take more than my fair share, but I only I can. I'm an efficient guy at that level, man. It's like we do like a like you're like I can say not even a CMOC. CMOC you work more than a C that I'm working right now. I
Or
don't know what
that's a
level we can
horrible.
be, man. Like
yeah. But
like it's,
CMOC, they work a lot, but do they really need to?
no, bro.
Oh,
No,
no.
you do a lot of busy work there.
Analytics. Very
You do a lot
colorful
of busy work
analytics.
there.
Analytics. Army math, analytics, it's garbage.
So I give a
No.
brief to the young guys for the embassy,
Yeah.
right? And I have a map book, right, where it shows all the embassies and
Yeah.
consulates, right,
Yes.
on the planet. But it's not accurate because it's from 2019, right?
Yeah.
And plus, I'm not giving you a 10-digit grid to each
Yeah.
embassy. Like you find it, bro. Like you're going to the country, you find it. You find the
Google
address.
that. Just Google it.
Google tells you where it is.
Trust me,
Exactly, man.
it's out
And
there.
so I had this one kid. It's like, is that accurate? It's like, I guess. It's like, well, it shows that there's an embassy in Venezuela. It's like, okay. It's like, are you
What
going to
does that
Venezuela?
matter?
No, I asked him. It's like, are you going to Venezuela? It's like, what? Are you going to Venezuela? No. And what do
Okay.
you care? What do you care if I have a Venezuelan U.S. embassy in Venezuela?
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
What
matter.
do you do? Are you Jason Bourning it in there? Or are you going to be Rambo? And like, what do you care that they're like? Do you know if there's an embassy and a consulate in your country that you're going to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or like, bro, I get it. In the military, you're taught to like point out everything that's wrong, right? Because man, look how great I am. I pointed out that there's 10 mistakes on this.
That's
Okay.
I did none of the work, but I pointed out 10 mistakes. I'm
yeah. Yeah.
awesome. It's like, you know who hates that? Everybody on the planet. Nobody likes when you point out their mistakes. And if you go
No.
to the embassy, they're going to say, "Get out of my office."
Yeah, exactly. Just like you're not gonna get invited not even to lunch.
Not even for coffee.
Nobody for coffee. That's right. You're not gonna anybody not even for coffee, man. You're
They're going
done.
to say,
Coffee
"Hey,
break.
go out to the courtyard, and we'll send Eli out there."
Oh, what's the Eli out there to help you out?
I forgot about that stuff. I forgot. I totally forgot about that stuff.
That was a
No,
funny, man. That's all the funny
that's
things.
what
Man.
everybody remembers. You're not the first person to tell me this. Hey, remember that? I was like, yeah. Who was it? Charlie found out. Everybody found out. I said, hey,
What
is
is?
it true? And Kando, I was there at the Bragg, and Kando's like, hey, I told him about it. Like, how did you know? Why I found out about this? It's like, yeah, Charlie, yeah, this is what happened. Anyway,
Charlie will tell everybody, man. He's like the Facebook on live. Listen to Facebook live. It's Charlie. He'll tell you.
so he's out though. I think Charlie's out. He had a
Yeah,
heart
he's
yeah.
issue.
fine,
Or
I think,
something.
right?
Had a
Yeah.
heart condition.
Yeah,
Really?
out of nowhere. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I try to tell guys, like, you can't like take all this energy drinks and all this pre-workout stuff. It's like,
It catches up to you. I think it
I was
does.
I was living in those. I mean, I still when I work, I still take monsters, right? I try to not to take them only if I'm working or traveling. But I used to live in those monsters and cigarettes, man, every day. That was my
yeah.
that was my thing.
I drink a lot of caffeine from coffee and soda, right? So I
Coffee.
Coffee soda, yeah.
started cutting down on my soda, right, to like 3 sodas a day and 1 coffee a day. And I
Yeah.
started having like really bad headaches, but it's like, all right, how about we space the sodas out? Don't drink them all 3 at a time. Like, space them out throughout the day to get off of that. So
It'd be like remember Johnny's, right? Johnny's, I think he retired.
he had a heart problem too because of all those energy drinks.
He was like living
Monster.
on monsters and cigarettes too, man. Like
That's all he drank. I don't think I ever saw that guy drink water, even when he was on jump duties. I never saw that man drink water.
he was coffee and
Ever.
monsters and cigarettes, man. That's it.
Yeah. Morning,
You know?
he was afternoons and monsters, coffee in the mornings, monster in the afternoons. But I never saw that guy drink
So,
water.
Rod, hey Rod, you talk. I mean, when you guys do briefings, right? Different. Are you South America specific or different other areas or?
So I do South America. I do Southcom, Indo-PACOM,
Okay.
and then I'll cover Iraq and Saudi Arabia.
So before I got out, I was working with the USSOC historian,
Yeah.
and we were able to get everything. Operation Just Cause. So we did like an extensive research and Operation Just Cause for all the. So I mean, it took me like 8 months. I thought I can write a master degree now, a master thesis on it right after I finished with him. But I mean, it was a good Operation Just Cause for guys going to Panama or something like that. We turned it into a staff ride. That's what we did.
Okay.
So it was pretty interesting because we took it from all the angles. He found all the interviews. He found like Charlie 96, all team leaders' notes when they were there. Got all that stuff is there in USSOC now. Like they have it in the historian office. So it's
Wow.
pretty interesting to see, man. Like, they always talk about we jump with the Rangers in Panama, and it was true, man. Like, I saw the notes and everything, like from those like handwritten notes they have. It's just pretty interesting.
It's funny because you talk about that, right? And I know the historian exists
Yeah.
because it's a lady now that's up there, right?
Oh, the old guy left. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
pretty old.
And but nobody else in USASOC even knows they exist.
They're pretty good source of. I mean, and I found this guy. His name is General Pontoon. He was the U.S. Army 18 Airborne Corps planner who planned the whole operation for the conventional force.
Wow.
So we brought him over, man. He has some, why the whole thing happened. It's pretty. We did a pretty intense job. It was, and then we're trying to make it like a podcast or something for people to look at it because, as a history wise, that's one of the, in the Western Hemisphere was one of those operations that was a success, if you want to call it like that.
Well, the funny thing with the people now, and it's good that they get these classes. Because I
Yeah,
tried to bring in some people that were either former DCMs or
yeah.
ambassadors. So the one guy I brought in for the last Panama or Latin America stuff that he did was he's the Navy SCO for Panama, because I didn't realize Panama has two SCOs, one for the Army and one for the Navy, right?
Okay.
Because I worked with him when I was coincidentally in Guyana, right? He was
Yeah,
down
yeah,
there, and then I saw him again in Hawaii, and now he's down in Panama. And so the young soldiers, they would ask these questions, right? And it'd be like really vague and beating around the bush. It's like, are you talking about China? You can say China. China, 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 China. China knows we're here.
yeah. Exactly.
And it's like, they know you're coming. They might not know you specifically, but they know.
No, they know where you're gonna live and
It's
everything.
like,
Yeah,
Trust me.
exactly.
so,
Oh, everything,
so,
man. Like,
so
oh,
guys,
Yeah.
he was like, guys, I know we're not on a secret server. I know this is unclassed, but you can say the word China.
yeah.
There's nothing top secret about the word China.
China and Russia.
I think it's today's culture because I catch it with the Air Force, and
Yeah.
sometimes the younger generation, they're like real, and the older generation, guys our age, yeah, okay, that's what it is. Hey, FDO's talking about this. It's like, yeah, thanks, appreciate it. Can I mention the C word around here?
Yeah. See word.
I've had 5 downloads from China for my podcast,
Yeah.
and I tell people Xi Jinping is listening to my podcast.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I've had 10
mentioned
from Russia. It's like Vlad Putin. He's a listener.
You mentioned
I made it.
Panama. I was there in Panama for 75 days to fill the gap for the skulls of, I
Yeah.
guess, that softly position, whatever. And I was
Yeah.
at
Softly,
Bragg.
whatever they call that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was, it hit me in the face, like the influence in of China and Panama. Like they have moved in where we have ignored the Western Hemisphere. These guys have strategically moved in to fill those gaps.
Everywhere, man.
Interestingly, it started before the canal was built. These
Yeah.
guys had a strategic long-term plan to
Yeah.
move in, settle in, marry to the culture,
Yeah.
and pretty much take over certain industries in South America. It blew my mind away
So
in Panama.
we've all been there, right? We already know the culture, right? We
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
know that, like in Latin America, even in this country, there's a certain amount of what's the word corruption that's expected from your political leaders, right?
Of course.
Right. That everywhere you go in Latin America, yeah, every
Yeah.
political leader is a crook. But I
It's
was
expected.
never able to figure out like what's the level, right? Is it
Yeah.
$100 US? Is it $1 million? When is it a problem for the public, right?
Yeah.
You know, they don't give you a dollar amount.
Yeah.
When me and Georgie were always talking about this.
Yeah. I know that.
China understands this, right?
You know.
And they like, to them it's just normal business. It's like, yeah, we want this. Who do we have to pay to get the contract? You or you? Both of you? Okay, we'll make the payment. And for them, it's like, whatever, bro. It's no big deal. We as Americans can't get that through our head. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's wrong. That's corrupt. Is it?
No, it's not.
If the Latin Americans are saying it's not corrupt, the Chinese are saying it's not corrupt, then is it really corrupt?
It
Yes,
just
it
depends.
is. Great, bro. We just lost the contract, so what difference does it make?
It doesn't make any difference now, right? It's
No.
like,
Yeah, but no, it was no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
It's what is accepted as corruption. Yeah, like you said, what is accepted? What is the level of tolerance? You know?
Yeah, what's the acceptable risk, right? The Skulls made that determination. It's not on you, dude. It's like,
Yeah, they do that. I mean, yeah. I mean, I just I feel for all this. I mean, we were working in a different era, right? We have 2 wars going on. Now it's kind of like quiet.
It's different.
Like,
It's different.
Yeah,
It's
now it's very
different, yeah.
different and kind of. I think it's kind of quiet too, like quiet in a way that it's not. You know, there's no war, there's no nothing. We're
Yeah.
placeholders, so nobody can fill the placeholder over there. You know, that's
Yeah, but it's interesting though. Yeah, because I've kind of don't know anything about South America anymore. So
No, I cut off unless it's business. Like we
I
have
think
no. we pick up some. I'm working now on a contract in Germany, in the European Union. That is pretty good money for us, for our company, right? And we have some in Mexico too. When they call Mexico, I just hit my head. I was like, I'm not going there, dude. Like, no, Jorge Medina. So they, I'm not, I mean, it's just because for me that's not much money there, right? Versus
Yeah,
the European Union, I mean, different about $50 million is the difference, right? So
of
you
course.
get,
Yeah.
So
and
you bring that up, Georgie. So I was talking. So I've been confused for like being Chinese for being a.
yeah,
I've been confused recently for being Iranian, right?
Qatar, you told me to ask me about Qatar.
And I used to get offended. Now I don't. Evidently, I have a universal look, and so that's fine. But what I still get offended at is when people come up to me and like, "Hey, compa, que pues?" Right? It's like, and I've been asked like, "Why do you get offended by that?" Well, I've asked the white people that I work with, when was the last time somebody walked up to you and just started speaking Swedish or German or
yeah.
French? For the Chinese people that I work with, when was the last time somebody came up to you and just started trying to speak Chinese or Korean or Indonesian to you?
Yeah,
I'd ask black people, when was the last time somebody walked up to you and started just spitting out Swahili or Zulu? Right?
that's true.
They don't, right? They just come up to you and speak to you in English. But I'm supposed to be all right when somebody's like, "Hey, compa, ¿qué pues?" Do I look like I'm your friend?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was like.
It's like, we're in the United States, so why are you speaking to me in Spanish, you jackass?
So they just assumed you were going to take the lead in Mexico, Georgie?
Well, they were looking for one, right? So, and I tell you, I'm the only Hispanic in. It's only two people who are Hispanic in the company, right? Well, at the corporate level, myself and the president of America. Yeah, we have the same name too. He's a Spaniard and I'm Puerto Rican, right? But so they need somebody who speaks Spanish to go to the contracts in Mexico or Latin America. And I was like, I was hiding on the desk, man. Like, I know I'm too busy. I'm too busy. And the reason that I did it was money wise, because the European Union, I can get more revenue, right? I don't know. It's like
Yeah.
revenue is like bigger over there than down in
Of course.
Mexico. So I'm like, just hiding, man. And I got another. But she got to travel to Guadalajara like every month. Every month she got to go to Guadalajara, Mexico, spend like two
That's it.
weeks, and
That's not
then
bad at all.
no Tijuana and all the border towns and stuff like that.
That's
I was
right.
like,
That's A-Rod's AO right there.
Tijuana.
I was like, because there is something in the logistic world. It's called near shore operations. So if you have to import from overseas to the United States, it's easier. Bring it to Mexico border, and then from there package it right and send it through customs to the U.S.
Okay.
Versus coming from overseas and get stuck in customs in one of the ports, right? For like you don't know when, because those ports are very. I mean, they have like too much work. Let's put it that way. So your cargo might be stuck there for 2 months. Versus in Mexico, you can fill like 10 warehouses, and every 24 hours you can push that to the U.S. Bro, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not where it come from, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
God
the,
bless.
the
God
same in
bless NAFTA.
yeah, same in Canada. So I was like, but I'm not. I want to go to. I said I want to go to the European Union, so I got that one. I was like, I'm going to Europe. I'm there.
Jeez.
My boss told me, he's like, yeah, but you're a pretty good guy for the Mexico project. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not, sir.
Just because I speak Spanish doesn't mean I'm going, you know?
Yeah,
That's
that doesn't mean that I
interesting.
want to do it.
I
Nothing.
might go to Guadalajara, but once you're saying Tijuana, forget it, man. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm
because
out,
yeah,
bro.
That's so
yeah,
you're from that area. I mean,
Los
I mean,
Angeles. Yeah.
oh, that's pretty much there. That's
It's
Tijuana,
like
right?
it's like 90 minutes away.
all
Okay. Oh,
right.
so it's still 90 minutes. Okay, it's
Yeah.
still a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's
That's
so Guadalajara is where the central office is, right? All the corporate office
Yeah.
that's for
for Latin America operations, but the operation itself is in the border towns near. It's like TJ. I forgot the other one. It's like three towns. Where we're not the only one. Like everybody's doing it. Like all the big companies that are in the U.S. they do those
Yeah.
nearshore operations. It's cheaper, right, and faster. Let's put it that way: cheaper and faster to get it to the market. So, but again, they don't pay enough
No,
over
they're not going to
there.
fit.
All right. Well,
They,
hey
they're.
guys. So we're going on about an hour and 50 minutes for
Oh
this
wow,
episode. So we have to end it because people's attention span is about 30 minutes.
it's too long,
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
more like 20 minutes.
So
They're
you
only
guys
going
have
to
any shout
remember.
outs? Anything
I
that
think
you want to promote?
being Memorial, we just came out of Memorial Weekend, man. I think
Yeah.
shout out to all those Gold Star families. There's a lot of them. I think so. That's the shout out. That's a shout out to those a lot of veterans out there, and a lot of those people that get confused between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. It's different. So shout out to those vets out there, but all those Gold Star families. That's my shout out right there.
My shout out is all the vets out there, man. And if you need any help is available. Please reach out to whoever you need to reach out. So that's my shout out there.
Yeah, so I wanted to just shout out Enrique Hernandez. Remember,
Of
Yeah,
course, I
yeah.
remember Great Kid.
so Enrique is retired now, and he's actually taking the lead, like in investing in corporate properties, like commercial
Okay.
properties. And so he just had something go out. Yeah, it was 2 days ago. Strategies for success in private money lending.
Oh wow.
So he has a podcast as well. Go ahead and check it out. He's on LinkedIn, Enrique Hernandez, and just check out
Wow.
his website and see what he's doing. Maybe you can roll up some of your money into his and make a little bit more money.
Oh, I'm gonna reach out to him. Yeah, Enrique. Yeah, I ran into him a few years ago, right before I left. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
two,
he's
not even
a
two
smart
years
guy,
ago.
and
He's a
Making
very
more
smart
money is
guy.
always good.
yeah.
Making more money is always good.
So until next time, thank you very much for listening. And remember, you have something that makes you special, something that makes you unique. Identify what it is and maximize it to its fullest potential. And I know you will be successful. Until next time, zot, 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 and roll tide.